You're listening to the KATcast, a weekly podcast from the staff you love to listen to each weekday on 94.3 Cat Country. Killian Hart and Jordan J. Now, here they are, talking about life, love, and everything mid-Missouri.
And it's another edition of the KATcast. Today, we're tackling all things adult beverage.
Ooh. My favorite.
Which covers a lot of ground.
It really does.
It really does, because there's a lot of adult beverages that you could enjoy.
Sure.
I'll tell you right up front, I'm a beer guy.
Yeah.
Not a mixed drink fan.
You're not a spirits
I don't know.
man.
I've seen you enjoy a mixed drink or two from time to time. You like them girly. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, like what? What have I had?
Oh, your cranberry vodka.
Wow.
That's a girl drink.
Now there you go.
That's a once-a-year thing at the Christmas party.
And you still drink it.
Just to make me feel like James Bond, that's all.
Listen,
Yeah, because that's what James Bond drank.
listen, all right? And I think I speak for all men here when I say this, all right? Secretly, we do like those fruity drinks. Now, no man's going to be like, I just want to, If you're at a resort somewhere, specifically on a beach, and you don't have a frozen drink in your hand, you're going to have a frozen drink in your hand. You're like, bring me some of the ones with the umbrella.
I mean, the husband, he's the first to be like, oh, we going to get a fruity drink?
Yeah, I was
we'll
like,
get a fruity drink.
we get margarritas? All right.
Give me a Tootie McFruity and make it a double.
Exactly.
No, but I am with Kevin now. Like, I feel like I'm more drawn to beer.
Mm-hmm.
I do like all those other drinks too. Like I said, I love margaritas, love frozen drinks.
Margaritas are good.
any
Okay, I will concede to that too.
So, like, the husband, he's kind of like with me. Like, the older we get, the more we're like, okay, just, a cheap drink or it isn't going to do. Because we're getting older. Our bodies don't process things the way they used to.
Yeah.
And trust me, if you're young, one day, trust me, you will know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so it's like we've reached the magical age where when we do have a drink, we want it to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want it to taste good.
Yes.
We want it to not kill our stomachs. We want to feel decent the next morning. And I'm telling you, the cheap stuff, it's bitten me one too many times where I just feel like death warmed over the next day. It's awful.
Yeah. No, I remember college one time. We'd like run out of. We had a whole party, me and my friends, and we drank everything. And we're like, we need someone to go make a run. And one of our friends went and go. She's like, all right, I'll go do it. And she brings back handles of like the bottom, like swill, and you're like, you could have at least got. So we could have give you more money if you needed
But
more
in
money.
college,
Like,
your body can handle
Exactly.
it.
Right. It's like,
I mean,
see again though, and
here's a gallon of Pop-Off. You're like, ooh, this is not going to be a fun
I am
night.
a proud Calowegian, Back in the day, I mean, it was like Boone's Farm or
Hey, Boone's Farm.
Mad Dog 2020.
Okay,
I'm a
yeah.
Mad Dog 2020
Yeah.
kind of girl. You ask me to drink that today, not going to be able to.
okay, but now going back to my statement that I'm not a fan of hard booze. Okay, I do drink, as Aaron mentioned. I'll take vodka with cranberry sauce. Cranberry
sauce. Oh,
That's something
That's
different.
a thick drink right there.
Cranberry juice. But vodka itself, at least from what I can tell, really has no flavor of its own. Am I right?
I mean,
It's not a very
it's
strong
supposed
flavor.
to, but I mean, like if I just
It tastes like alcohol. Have
straight
you ever just-
vodka.
yeah.
These days, it tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Like rubbing alcohol? Okay.
It tastes like rubbing
Right.
alcohol
Now you
smells.
can get your
Yeah.
flavored vodkas,
And that's why-
like a pineapple or a lemon or something like that,
Right.
raspberry, whatever. That can taste good by itself. But if it's just plain,
But when
plain
you're
vodka,
talking whiskeys, bourbons, all that, all that kind of stuff, no way. The taste just turns me out. My
Yeah.
father
Yeah.
was a lifelong drinker. He loved his Fleischmann's. He was, Fleischmann's?
Yeah.
Okay. That was his drink, Fleischmann's. And a beer here and there too, but mostly that was his thing. But I go, nah.
See, and I'm not the biggest whiskey. I just recently learned that I can handle whiskey like it. I just don't like the taste of whiskey. Like, I've really tried. It's like there's something about whiskey that I don't like too much. But I found out that if I smoke the whiskey, like somebody they make these like little contraptions that you could like smoke it, and
which is way cool.
It is really
I've
cool.
never heard of.
It's like they get this like little wood contraption, and then they take a torch, and it smokes your drink.
And so you put the drink in there, you mean, and then
Smoke it pours kind of into your drink.
the drink,
and then it gives it like a smoky flavor.
Yeah,
Really?
there's a couple places here in town that I can think of right at the top of my head that's the first time I ever had a drink like that. And I was like, whoa.
But I had like
this is next level.
Yeah, I had like an old fashioned that was like smoked. And I was like, this is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like that was the secret of like, I'm like, okay, maybe now I actually enjoy whiskey. Because I don't know what it did. It took away like the bite of whiskey, if that makes sense.
Now, Jordan and I can both remember that Hilly enjoyed girly drinks other than just vodka cranberry. MBAs. You had a couple.
What did I have? I
you
can't
had
even
a couple
tell
of
you.
girly drinks because I ordered them for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, I go, will you trust me? And you're like, I don't know. I go, trust me. I said, I'm not going to give you something that tastes gross.
Was the drink pretty?
They were pretty.
It was pretty. It's pretty.
And they were really good.
Yes.
Because you had quite a few.
I do like them sweet.
Yes.
I like. Okay, now let me ask you this, and
to me, I don't want to drink like just sweet.
Yeah.
To me, the sweet ones are like the good sippers. You don't want to drink them super fast.
I don't drink the whole.
Yeah.
Okay, don't give me your answer yet of what they are, but do you each have like a favorite? If you're drinking beer, do you have a favorite beer?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I used to when I could have beer. Yeah.
Yeah, but you do have some in mind. Okay.
Sure.
We're gonna top 3 beers. Okay, that you would drink.
I got you.
Okay, I'll start. And not necessarily in this order, but this is my top 3.
Okay.
Yingling,
Yingling's
oldest
really
brewery
good.
in Pennsylvania, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Oldest brewery in America, Pottsville, Pennsylvania, 1829. Delicious stuff. Boulevard Wheat. Blue Moon.
Yeah.
Those 3.
Okay. When I could, I've got a wheat allergy, and I didn't know I had it until I was like 28 or so. Long time ago. But when I could drink beer, I liked the darker beers. Like the darker, the better. So I used to love this stuff called Buffalo Sweat. Buffalo Sweat was a dark coffee tasting beer. Like it was amazing. I loved that was my hands down my favorite. Then I liked Killian's Irish Red.
Killian's Irish Red, yeah.
And then Amberbach.
Yeah.
Now, if you Benadryl up, can you have a drink? Can you have a
My
beer?
body is getting to the point where
Right.
just taking a Benadryl is not.
But sometimes it
gonna cut
does
anymore.
work. That's what I'm saying.
It's, well, okay, the last couple of times I've done it for you fools.
Yeah.
And then for my family yesterday, it did not end well for
her
me.
body's up like, I know what you're trying to do
Exactly.
here.
The
You're not
Benadryl
fooling
had
anybody.
no longer works.
And now it's like it's no longer just about hives. It's about
Yeah.
further discomfort.
Not feeling great. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it's not even worth it. If I could find a gluten-free beer,
Yes.
Oh, I
That's-
gotta think they make it.
they do
Yeah.
make them, but one that has like that dark, really good,
And it
rich
tastes
coffee
good.
taste.
Yeah.
I'd be all in. But until then, I will stick with what I know.
Top
Yes.
3 beers, Jordan.
So
What do
I'm
you
a
got?
huge stout fan. So naturally, being an Irishman, Guinness is my number one. Guinness is great. Guinness Draft, amazing. It's so good. There's different tiers of Guinness. Guinness Draft is my favorite. Probably.
So let me ask you real quick.
Extra stout's good too.
Have you ever had a snake bite?
I'm trying to remember. It's like a Guinness with what? Like a lager, right?
It's a Guinness with, the way I've had it is a Guinness with like a hard cider.
Okay, I haven't had that. I've had.
It's delicious.
Yes, I've had like Guinness with like a blue moon. I think they call that like a dark moon or something like that. Or something. It's something
Or is that the black and tan?
the black and tan. Maybe it's the black and
I can't
tan.
remember.
It's
Yeah.
something like that. I have had that though, so it's probably a similar experience, I'm sure.
Okay.
But so Guinness is
So,
definitely my
Guinness,
number
all right.
one has
Yeah.
to be.
Okay.
Number 2, probably it's another stout. It's called Oreo Speedwagon, which is funny, right? I love the names that they give these things.
Heard it from a friend.
Who heard it from a friend?
But Oreo Speedwagon is literally another stout that tastes. It's like super vanilla. So like it's a stout that has a vanilla flavor. Literally
I'm
has
getting
like a
thirsty
cookie.
here. I
know.
gotta tell you, man.
I know. But it is kind of like a Oreo kind of experience. And then probably I'm a huge wheat beer guy too. So Boulevard Wheat, Blue Moon.
Such good
Those
stuff.
are like. I almost put those on like the same tier list for me.
Right.
But so any kind of wheat beer, honestly.
Well,
I will go for a Corona. If those other 3 are not available, I'll go for a Corona.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So.
Well, what's nice is about, a lot of the breweries now, if like the husband or we're with a group of people and they're like, oh, let's check out a brewery. Let's do this. Let's do that. 9 times out of 10, they'll also make a seltzer, like a hard seltzer.
Yeah, they do.
So it's like, I never feel like I'm missing out,
Right,
because
right.
a lot of times you can get, a hard seltzer. And I don't want a seltzer that has like a wisp of fruit.
Right.
No, I want to be able to taste it. And there's some really good ones out
funny.
there now.
Jordan brought up Guinness, and of course, my wife and I are taking my dream trip in August to Ireland and England. I'm not a fan of dark beers. I don't like dark beers. I am going to have a Guinness. I as a good Irishman, I can't not be in the land of my ancestors and not have a Guinness. So I will be at the Guinness storehouse.
I'll tell you a short story. I used to not be a fan of stouts. I actually used to not like that. But then I started drinking I went as every person kind of does. You're peer pressured into trying beer, and then you're like, this was nasty, but you're just like powering through. Everyone else is doing it, right?
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, you drink it again, and you go, that wasn't as bad as it was the first time. It kind of grows on you. It does.
Yes.
But so I was like, okay, I was in lagers, and then I started getting into more craft brew. So then I'm like, all right, there's different kind of ales that you can drink, and then I started drinking like Irish red ales, and those opened me to Guinness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Irish red ales, like, really, ale kind of has a stout flavor.
Yeah.
Actually.
So what we're trying to say is you can work your way up.
You can work your way up.
But it's true what you say, because I don't know how old I was first time I ever tasted beer, but I remember thinking, this is nasty.
Oh.
How can anybody like this?
Beer
And you
I
have
ever
to
had was
pretend
gross.
that you're cool and you like it, but again,
it does grow on you. It's weird because I think about it now. I go, I love the taste of beer. I used to hate it.
Cold, refreshing beer.
So growing up, my mom would make at least 2 or 3 loaves a week of beer bread.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And I mean, it was warm, come out of the oven. So I always envisioned that beer was going to taste like beer
like bread. Yeah.
So my very first, try at a party, I was like, this is going to be Oh, so not a me.
Yeah.
Is not what mom pulls out of the oven.
With sometimes kind of can taste a little like bread. Now that I think about it, actually, right? Maybe that's why I like beer.
Yeah,
I love beer brats. Oh,
beer brats
man.
are good.
Especially, you can even put a little more beer in it than a lot of places do. Like most of the time, it's just a subtle.
It cooks out too.
But you can put a lot more beer in a beer brat.
We're talking about drinks, and Kevin's got to sneak food.
Got to sneak in the food a little bit.
By one excuse here, okay?
Yeah.
By one opportunity.
Never fails.
But so is it just beer for you though? No, typically.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the occasional foray into a girly drink, or I did like the Mexican the margarita.
The margaritas,
right?
Which I was excited. I got to introduce Kevin to margaritas
You did,
for the very first time a couple of years ago, so that was exciting.
That was my gateway drink with Aaron.
Yeah. So I'm going on a cruise here in, I don't know, I think it's like 3 weeks or so from now, and a guy that my husband works with, one of his buddies, he was like, your wife's going to get the drink package, right? And so he comes and asks me, he's like, yeah, did you get a drink package? I was like, no, I don't think I'm going to, I'm not going on this cruise to booze it up or anything, And so he goes back and he's telling his buddy this, and he goes, well, she might want to, because, if she does get a drink, I mean, they'll charge anywhere from like $12 to $15 a drink, And so I talk it over with my brother's girlfriend, who I'm going with on the cruise. And so we're like, okay. And so then she texts me later that night, and she's like, girl, I got one word for you, mimosas. And I'm like, okay, that is kind of my love language. I do love a good mimosa.
A mimosa,
breakfast.
yeah.
Let me.
I think I've had one mimosa my entire life. I need to change that, because that's what orange juice and champagne.
Orange juice and champagne or prosecco. But you can do any type of juice, cranberry juice, pineapple juice. I mean, whatever you got.
Let me give you one word of warning though. When you hit the ports of call, don't order drinks there.
Right.
Because I learned that lesson the hard way. We were on a cruise in 1990, my wife and I, and ports of call. San Juan, Puerto Rico, Nassau, St. Thomas, St. John, et cetera, et cetera. When we were in Puerto Rico, San Juan, we're sitting there in this table, very nice, and I had a drink. We got back to the ship, and we were both heaving our guts out. And trust me, it was coming out in multiple locations. And that was all. They said, don't drink the water. The drinks are made from water. Guess what?
Yeah.
They have water in them.
Well, there is one excursion that we're doing. It's a private.
Drinking on the ship is fine.
Well, it's a private adults-only beach. So there's a beach house. They've got somebody there to make us drinks, make us dinner, and all this other stuff. And this is how nerdy I am. I'm not thinking, yay, we can party. Kathy and I look at each other. We're like, oh, we can bring a book. We can sit on the beach and read a book. That's the age I'm at now.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong
there
with
you go.
that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Sounds like a thrill ride.
Hey, I'm excited about it.
I would say my go-to when it's not beer that I'm enjoying. Because here's the thing, that's my go-to. But I will also admit, like drinking a lot of beer makes you bloated real fast. Like I can drink more liquor than I can beer, right? So like I can get to where I need to be a lot faster with like rum or like gin than I can with like beer. It takes a lot of beer for me to get where I need to be. So I enjoy beer more for the taste.
Aaron knows that I'm a lightweight, and I can drink one bottle of beer fine.
Yeah.
By the time I get to about maybe halfway through the second one, I'm like, I'm feeling lightheaded.
It's awful lady.
So I'm really a lightweight. I'm like a 17-year-old girl, you know.
So I like to go different places and I'll try different cocktails.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they have
yeah.
a cocktail menu, and we went to a place in Herman, and it was like a lemon meringue martini or something. I love lemon meringue pie. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be amazing. It took the bartender, I kid you not, like probably 15 minutes to make this drink. Like she's mixing stuff and measuring this and holding this up to the light and torching this and all. I mean, it was amazing. I got one sip and it was heaven. And then I turned to talk to my cousin, and all of a sudden, my brother came behind me, took my drink, and just slammed it.
Oh,
I was so mad.
Oh.
So mad.
so how long before he got out of the hospital?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say
Any
no
day
kidding,
now.
right?
Any day
No
now,
kidding.
yeah.
My sister-in-law actually just literally like this weekend had it was a chocolate covered strawberry martini.
Ooh.
And when I tell you, and she's like, Jordan, you got to try this thing. She handed it to me.
Yeah.
I sipped it. It tasted like a chocolate covered strawberry that you get from like Valentine's Day.
Well, I love
That sounds like art.
coffee.
Yes.
So, like, I love a good espresso martini.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah.
Shaken or stirred.
Say.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to head on out of here and go get something to drink.
There you
Okay.
go.
So,
Give me a nice beverage.
hey, what do you like to drink? What's your go-to? Beer, spirits, whatever you got. Share with us. CatCountry@mailzimmer.com.
You got it right.
Or if there's something that you want us to talk about or discuss.
Or
let us
try.
know.
Let us know.
Ooh, or let us, yeah, we'll try anything.
We raise a glass to you, our KATcast listener.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us for this Cat Country KATcast.
You've been listening to the KATcast, your weekly dose of fun from the staff you know and love on 94.3 Cat Country. Click subscribe and never miss an episode. Share it on social media and tell your friends with 94.3 Cat Country.